Hey guys, I'm Cromish, here bringing you speedrun of Lucius. Now, some of you may have seen this game before, may have played it, might be thinking, why is this in shots fired, this isn't a shooter. Well, let me just reassure you that there will be shots fired in this run. So without further ado, let's get started. I'm going to count down. 3, 2, 1, let's jam. There's a lot of subtle things that'll be going on during this run, so if I don't explain something straight away, then I'll be sure to get back to it, hopefully. So right now, we just have to wait while it shows how the UI works. We've got all my powers there, and my power bar, and the detection indicator. Most of it doesn't matter. In this first level, we just have to lock Mary in the fridge. Any of you haven't seen this game before, it's a game about, basically you're the child of the devil and you're trying to kill your entire family in various puzzles. Now this here is one of the tutorial rooms. There'll be 5 of these throughout the game. The way we try to speed these up is by glitching out of bounds. It skips a lot of the dialogue for the devil.
Lucius.
So what I need to do is grab all these items, find these two. So I'm going to do a safer strat here. I'm going to use the beach ball, try and get it to clip me out of bounds.
You can trust me. You know who I am, don't you?
This is a modified version of the beach ball clip that you'll be seeing later on as well, and I'll explain it more in detail in just a moment. But as you can see, we skipped a lot of dialogue there. Normally that section would take about 2 minutes of him just talking to you. So this is the beach ball clip. It relies on the fact that the beach ball and many other items in this game are what are called two-handed items. When you pick up a two-handed item, and you'll note the two-handed if Lucius uses both his hands to pick it up, then it increases the size of your hitbox, which means if you put yourself in a position where that size hitbox wouldn't fit, it'll flip you out of bounds. You saw I was also doing some buffering using the inventory there. That helps. Sometimes you get stuck. So you see I did another one there. Right now we're just going to do a fetch quest. We need to pick up a few items, the most important of which is the gun. After all, this is a shots fired marathon. But it is the main thing that we'll be using to glitch this game. Basically we're going to break this game over the table with the gun. You're not supposed to be in this section of the mansion at this point of the game. This section of the mansion is all locked off, which is why we had to go out of bounds. And we'll have to go out of bounds again to be able to get back to the other side. The combination to this safe is Lucius's birthday, 6/6/1966. It is really hard to use this safe because they decided to make the controls very difficult. You have to move the mouse side to side, very precise. And now we've got the guns and the gun and the ammo. We have to grab a few other items, the glue, the camera. I don't know where that went. We'll find it in a second. There it is. And then we grab this book. This book is another two-handed item, and we're going to use that to get back out of bounds on this plan here. Grab the book, go on top of the rail, and we can walk out of bounds again. Like I said, the side of the mansion that we're supposed to be in is locked, so we need to do this to be able to get back over. Alright, and now we're going to do the rest of the level normally. So the person we're trying to kill in this level, his name is Gene. He's a smoker. And so we are going to light him on fire as you do. You see this red zoom effect that happens? That happens on almost every level. It's the effect that occurs when you find your target for the particular level.
Well, there you are.
Certain levels will be able to skip it, and that'll save a lot of time. So before we can kill Gene, we have to go up here and grab the screwdriver. And then we're going to tamper with the oven. We took his matches, so he's going to come over to the oven to try and light his cigarette. And it'll be entertaining. And then while we're here, because we've got nothing better to do, we're going to fill up the water bottle for later. Now you get to watch a cutscene of him die. Speaking of cutscenes, in this game there are a lot of cutscenes that you'll see, but there are many more that are being skipped. And Normally the way you would skip these cutscenes is just by holding space, and it takes about 1.5 seconds when you're holding space for the cutscene to actually skip. So instead, what I have in front of me is a keyboard, a mouse, and a controller, because skipping cutscenes on the controller is instant. This is a new glitch found only in the most recent patch with the added controller support, and it's actually a bit annoying to have all three in front of me, but you know, get used to it. Lucius is killing everyone because he is the son of the devil, and the devil tells him to. Alright, this is the second tutorial level. Like in the first one, we're going to try and get out of bounds, but before we get out of bounds, there's a few things we have to do first. The stuff that we can't do from out of bounds that we have to do to be able to complete this level. Also, what I'll be doing here is I'm going to be doing the wardrobe clip. This is what, if I was doing a world record run, I'd normally do on the first level. But the issue with the wardrobe clip is that it can get you stuck in the wall, which would be a reset. In every tutorial except for the first one, you have telekinesis. And if you have telekinesis, you can bring the ball to you and get that to get you outside the wall, which serves as a backup strat.
Excellent.
So this one's just teaching you how to use telekinesis.
Very good.
It's self-explanatory. We're going to try and skip 2 lines of dialogue by getting out of bounds as soon as he says his next line. But, alright. There's a few things I've got left to do from out of bounds, so I've got to move over to here. And then line myself up. The cup. Break the cup. And then there's a music box. I'm going to break that too. And then that's level done. So as I was mentioning with the cutscenes, right now I'm mashing B on my controller to try and skip through cutscenes. The game's pretty inconsistent with which cutscenes you can and cannot skip, so some of them you can't, but alright. This level's kind of a filler. I'm gonna try and do it fast, but the next level's where stuff gets interesting. Flip out of bounds just to get a faster way down, although that clip took me a while, which is unfortunate. And then we meet Ivor. Ivor is drunk, and we're going to kill him in another exciting way. The deaths in this game are pretty hilarious. Later on, towards the end of the game, see what I think is one of the most stupid deaths in any video game ever. Highly likely it'll be the most stupid death in this run. Marathon. So I held the notebook there. That was just to stop other pathing. Nancy there. If she paths and walks onto you while you're messing with the piano, she was a game over. So normally I wouldn't do that, but because the beach ball took a while, we have to make sure we do a few safety strats. This game is from 2012. It was released in 2012. So we just have to wait for Igor to path over right now, so I'm just going to combine a few items. Most importantly, the gun and the bullets. Don't worry guys, there will be shots fired on the next level. I guarantee that. So like I was saying, we have to be careful we don't get detected. You can tell if Lucius is being detected if the eye on the bottom left corner is red. So I stand over here to make sure Nancy doesn't walk in while I'm messing with the piano. How very gruesome. So I've got equipped the light bulbs ready for the next level. Equipped items persist over levels, so in certain times it's better to have items equipped. And this is cutting edge. This level is the most broken level in the game, and you'll see why in a moment. This will be where we fire our first shot. So we head down into the freezer. Here is Jed the butcher. His family is so rich they have a private butcher. I don't know why, but you know. Gonna break the light.
What the hell?
Give him the light bulbs. And importantly, we equip the gun and we break the saw. So now he's just gonna fall in the saw. Don't worry, there'll be very janky Fs in this game. Like this one. So this is where the major glitch is going to come in. The major glitch that breaks this game is called kill cancelling. It's also been called dupe at some stage. It involves firing the gun at the end of the level. And you'll see the effect in just a moment. So there's a small time before we progress to the next level, so I'm going to switch to the gun. Fire the first shot. You see it has a game over screen, that's okay. Now, because we're kind of breaking the game in a really bad way, I have to Alt F4 since the next level loads. Oh, I may have messed that up. Okay, I quit the game too early. That's alright. We just have to do this again. It gives me a bit of extra time to talk about what I'm doing. The kill cancelling glitch is where you fire the gun as you progress to the next level. You do it on Jed here because Jed's a fast kill and the other ones have some problems. And the effect is that Jed doesn't die. So we can kill Jed over and over again. You can't do it for every level. You can't kill Jed every single time for reasons I'll explain soon. This game has been quite a challenge routing-wise, because there's a lot of problems that come once you start doing this glitch, but it is faster. It saves... The record was something like 45 minutes before this glitch was found, and now it's down to 35 minutes, so it saves a lot of time, but there are some nuances with the way it works. So again, I just fired the gun here. Get the game over screen, but because you're transitioning, the game gets really confused. I'll make sure not to mess up this time. Messed up because I forgot to spam B during this. Get extra safe on that one. Alright, because there's some police state, we'll need to use the beach ball. But as you can see, Jed is very much alive. Now, like I said, we won't be able to kill him on every level, and that's because of various glitches with this. For example, in the next level, you won't actually progress to the next level if you do this glitch. And in some levels, you get caught instantly, or in some levels it's at night. So you won't just be seeing Jed die every level, but you will see this cutscene a lot. So get used to it. I hope you like the decor. So once again, we just have to fire the gun. The reason the gun causes a game over is because in this game you're supposed to be secretive. You're not supposed to let anyone realize that you're the one that's killing everybody. You're framing people throughout the story. And so firing the gun is a big no-no. In fact, in the game, casually, you never fire the gun. What you do is actually mind control someone else to fire the gun. But anyway, here's another tutorial level. Okay, once again, we have to wait to do a few things in bounds before we can break out of bounds.
Listen,
This one has the least amount of time to save. You can only save one line of dialogue, and you only have one chance to do it. In this tutorial, you're learning mind control, which will become very important for certain kills later.
Now, follow my instructions. Oh, very good.
This tutorial is actually
That's my boy.
quite glitched. You can actually do a lot of stuff that I won't be doing for various reasons.
Oh, very good.
One thing we used to do in doing this is that you can actually put the beach ball in front of this guy,
With your new skills, you
and
should
it will
avoid detection.
cause a game over.
More souls for me.
And depending on what timing you do it with, it'll have different effects. So for example, if you do it right at the end, it'll trick the game. You'll go on to the next level, but it will trick the game into thinking you're still on level 5, which lets you do a kill cancel on this level. But we won't be doing that because it actually ends up being faster to do this without a kill cancel. So you need to go fetch some items anyway. Alternatively, if you do it right at the beginning, if you hold the beach ball in front of him right at the beginning, forces a game over and actually puts you back onto level 5. That's called a holiday skip. So what will happen is once you complete level 5 a second time, you'll actually skip level 6 entirely. Well, the reason that's not done in the speed run, in the any percent speed run at least, because if you do that, 1, it's not that much faster, and 2, because you're skipping the trigger to get mind control, you can't actually complete the level after this one. Fatal Affair. Not Fatal Affair. Yeah, Fatal Affair. Fatal Affair has been a big problem when routing this game. It causes all bunch of problems because you can't kill cancel on it. For some reason you just get caught. So it's been the roadblock for the middle game, for the mid game right here. So I've just been collecting a bunch of items because we need to wait for this guy to path over. We're going to try and avoid his red zoom effect by not going too close to him. These are items I couldn't have... Well, the fuse is something that I didn't have an opportunity to get in level 2 because it was too far out of my way. And the rat poison was something that's not actually in the level when you go and fetch the other items in level 2. You have to go and get the items in level 2. Mainly because when you do a kill cancel, it resets the items that you have. Okay? So if I don't get the gun and the bullets and all the other items I need before level 4, then each time I do a kill cancel I have to go pick them up. It's really slow. Now, I could do it on level 3, but there's no good way to get back once you're out of bounds on level 3. Once you go to the other side of the mansion, you can't get back to the main side of the mansion. You can do Holiday Skip and still finish Fatal Affair, only if you don't do kill cancelling. Which is why it's used if you're doing a no kill cancelling run. It's also faster because level 5 is actually a 3-part level, and so when you get reset back onto level 5, you only have to redo the 3rd part, which makes it very fast.
Have you seen your Tia?
So I hope there's no children watching, because people are having sexy times. It's actually, you can actually glitch them out so they're both just standing on the bed. Basically, what we're trying to do right now is frame Javita. Like I was saying, this is the level that caused a lot of bottlenecks when routing this game. Because for some reason, when you do the kill cancel on this
Oh
level,
my god. How can
you can kill Jed fine, but then you get caught for some reason. So she's just gonna come out onto this balcony and cry for a bit, and we're gonna force her to jump off using mind control. One of the other problems that happens when you mess around these levels too much is that you might not have level 2 mind control. Now with the current route you do, but in this route, in older routes, and if you're doing no kill cancelling, you don't have level 2 mind control, you only have level 1 mind control. Which means you actually have to stand at a certain spot next to the balcony to force her to walk closer to the balcony so that you can use mind control on her. Alright, I've had enough of doing levels normally. So the next level, we're going to do another kill cancel. We're going to go see Jet again, and we're going to shoot another bullet. Just like before, we have to Alt F4. This Alt F4 is to prevent a crash. In previous versions of the game, you could do this glitch without causing the game to crash. It was very hard to be able to get through a whole run without the game crashing. There was only about 6 or 7 runs ever completed of the game without it crashing before this strat was found. Even then I was reluctant to do it, to be honest. But, because you need to play on the latest patch to get the controller glitch, where you can skip a bunch of cutscenes. That actually ends up being faster than the time you lose for Alt F4ing. So you have to Alt F4 on everyone now. Alright, let's fire another shot. And we're back in the tutorial room. This is the tutorial for memory erase. If things go well in the run, we should never have to use this ability again outside of the tutorial. It's kind of there in case you don't really know what you're doing. I'm going to throw the beach ball out for safety. Okay. What just happened there was called a broken door. Sometimes the door comes off its hinges, and if the door comes off its hinges, you can't do a wardrobe clip off of it. So we have to resort to the backup strat of beach ball clip. The reason I call this a modified beach ball clip is because you don't have the chair next to you, which you normally would have if you were just in the normal map, which makes beach ball clipping much harder, and you need to use pause buffering a lot more. Now, to complete this tutorial, you just have to erase his memories. There are certain spots you can stand out of bounds, where it will let you erase his memories from out of bounds. For a while we didn't know that existed, but someone managed to find it. I think it was Cobb, was the first one to find it. This level's just going to be another kill cancel, so once again, I feel like we've been here before. Maybe I'm playing a Groundhog Day game instead. This one's gone through a lot of iterations in its lifetime. Like I was saying earlier, the record used to be about 45 minutes. The first person to run this game was Cromish Cobb. He had an okay time, 47 minutes roughly. I came in and did a bit of rerouting. Got it down to 45 minutes. And then my brother, Looney, Living Looney Bin in the chat, he did Solus Project earlier. He accidentally found, during his casual playthrough, the Holy Day skip, which I was discussing earlier, which paved the way for trying to glitch the game by causing game overs when levels were transitioning. And we eventually found this skip. So now the time's been cut down to about 35 minutes. The record right now is 35:48 with loads, 35:15 without loads, although the without loads time is a bit arbitrary. It comes from back before we had to Alt F4 on every kill cancel. The load remover doesn't remove time from Alt F4, so it's sort of arbitrary. It balances the times between runners a bit, but it's not perfect. Now this tutorial here is the last tutorial. It's for Fireball.
What wonderfully gruesome offerings you have given to me.
We just have to clip out of bounds. That was a really good wardrobe clip. Fortunately, I was a bit slow getting over there, so we had to wait for one more dialogue line. We kill this guy from out of bounds. I'll be killing him 2 more times. Gave me rotten meat. He's the butcher. Why does a family need a butcher? Why do you need a personal butcher? Alright, so this level's betrayal. This level's at night, which is why we can't do normal kill cancelling strats. Jed's asleep. I need to wait for a audio trigger here. Audio cue, rather. When he says degrees, I can start using telekinesis. The goal with this is to sync up my times with the guards, so that I don't have to use memory erase. If I didn't sync it up, I'll have to use memory erase, but it doesn't waste that much time. So as you see, I went through the door at the same time as her and avoided her trigger, and I do the same to this guy, and for some reason they just don't notice you. So I can walk straight past them. It's a bit hard to see. I can bring out my flashlight now. If you bring out the flashlight earlier, they can catch you because of it, so you have to have it shut. And so now we're going down to the dungeon, where our grandpa and a reporter are waiting. Our grandfather is trying to set up a ritual, but we're not about to let that happen. It's no fun. So I just have to place a bunch of items, set up the ritual for him. Here you can do it, a small animation cancel.
Okay, good.
Now we're going to grab the knife and stab our grandfather in the back. So what I'm about to do in the next section, the reporter's going to get up and you'd have to do it like an action session where you'd run around shooting fireballs at him. You're trying to flip the crosses, because the crosses deplete your power, so you can't throw fireballs while they're up. Instead, what I'm going to try and do is the one-shot kill glitch, and I'll explain it if it all goes well. This is one of the trickier things to do on the run. Alright, I think I got it. So as you saw, what I did there was put a map walk. Not used anywhere else in the run. What it is if you open your journal and then open the map and then close the journal, you can walk around like I am right now with the map open and your camera is unbound. And what that does is, in that level in particular, when you're map walking, you don't trigger the zoom effects most of the time unless you get too close. So we use the map walk. We don't actually walk anywhere, but we use it to delay the zoom effect so that I can throw a fireball and hit him while the zoom effect is still going. And that causes him to be killed in one shot. Otherwise, it would take about 4 shots. No, I'm not running, it's too slow. I'll talk about that more soon. So this will be the final kill cancel we have to do. It's not the final time that we kill Jed, but because in the last time we don't have to set up Jed to be able to be killed in any other levels, we don't have to fire the gun again. So, unless you count fireballs, this will be the last shot fired for the run. But there will be more fireballs if you count fireballs. Yeah, what Looney said is correct. You can use your devil powers in front of your grandfather, because remember, because he's a Satanist, it won't trigger a game over. It's kind of weird. Never really matters. Funnily enough, this is actually the level where you're supposed to use the gun. You kill your teacher by causing him to pick up the gun and shoot himself. Alright. We don't have to Alt F4 for this one, since we're not glitching the game. Don't worry, this is the last time we're killing the butcher, guys. It's okay. Some of you might be wondering why I don't use a peachful clip to get down to the butcher. It is faster by a few seconds, only if you get it first try, and it's quite tricky to get first try.
What the hell? Why'd that damn lamp explode? How can I use a saw now if I can't see nothing?
Don't worry, guys. This is the last time you'll have to watch Jed die. For the rest of the game, doing the levels as intended is faster, mostly because they're very quick levels, and because some of the levels can be... You kind of glitch the game if you don't do them as intended. But that's okay, we only have a few levels left.
What's happening to us?
As you can see in my inventory in the bottom left, we still have the gun, but unfortunately if I fire any more shots, we're going to game over. So, enough of that. Instead, I kill this guy. So first off, I have to flip the cross. The cross is, probably should have explained this earlier. The cross is deplete your power, and we put the iron in the washing machine to break the washing machine. First we're going to kill the driver, then we're going to kill the mechanic straight after.
Hey, if it ain't the boy wonder. Have you found that tire iron for me yet?
So we've got a rag with paint thinner on it here, and we're going to mind control him so that he knocks himself out. I'm going to use telekinesis on the car. Get it running, but the air conditioner's on, so we need to turn that off. So we're going to mind control, because we're too short to turn it off, we're going to mind control him to turn it off for us. And shut the door and kill him. Now what happens at this point in the game, we're going to skip the cutscene so you won't see it, but the cops come in, see that this guy's dead. By the way, he's fallen through the table, because you're not meant to kill him in that position, you're meant to do some other stuff first. The cops come in, see that this guy's dead, assume it was the mechanic who killed him, and leave him handcuffed here to go and do something else, I suppose. I don't know. So we're going to pour gasoline on him and shoot fire at him. Burn him alive. That's how Lucius does it, you know. Oh, we just have to wait for him to die, so usually like to run around. Not much else to do at this point. There's a pool table, by the way. Next up, she's been here for a while. She's been a bit annoying. Gotta finally kill our mum. That's just the way this game rolls. Nancy will be sitting here. She's gone a bit crazy. So, we're gonna frame our dad. I'm gonna use a nail gun. Charge up the nail gun. Place it on the ground here, and you see our dad's walking over. I'm gonna mind control him to shoot his wife. I guess shots fired, I suppose. This is one of the few chances when you can actually skip a death cutscene. Now, this is what I was talking about in the beginning of the game as being possibly the stupidest death in video games. This man is... I don't know how this man became a cop. What I'm doing right now is I'm holding the map open while I'm using telekinesis. This is so it doesn't deplete power. We have to wait for him to be smart enough to shoot it. So, this saves time.
What the hell?
Sometimes he doesn't like to shoot it for a while, so just hold this and wait till he does. Basically, we're stuck on this chair here. And there's a bunch of crosses in the room that we have to get him to shoot so we can use our power to our full extent. And then we're going to break the fan, and I'll let you guys just watch what happens here.
What the?
Man ducks under it, and then doesn't think about it afterwards and gets decapitated. There's so much wrong with this death, but you know. Alright, we're about to hit the final level. In Lucius there are two different endings. There's the original, called the action end, and then there's a secondary end called the puzzle end, which was added in later because people complained to the developers that the whole game had been about puzzle solving, and then at the end you had to do some action stuff. It's gone through a bit of iteration, which ending's faster. Originally, this game was being run before the puzzle end was put into the game, so we were doing action end, obviously. Then when puzzle end came out, that was seen as faster because while it has more cutscenes, there are some that are skippable, and in general they're shorter. But then Quaz, the most recent one of this game, recently found out that you can actually just go to the menu and skip the first cutscene in action end, which makes it faster. So the game's a bit laggy when I do that, but if I reload, I'll skip that cutscene. Sorry for the audio. Now I have to kill these two priests by shooting fireballs at them. These priests control you a bit if they path badly, and they kind of are. They're holding crosses, which depletes my power. Ideally, I want to try and kill them at the same time, because they have zoom effects, which makes it slow. Alright, we got pretty good there. So the final thing we have to do is kill our dad. He's going to come over and we're going to just topple this build on him. Time will be coming up in a moment. Oh, in about a minute. Yeah, the ending's a bit messy. Which is another reason why puzzle ending is my preferred ending. It's much more interesting, but this is a lot faster. Especially if you get really good priests. So he grabs a fire extinguisher and becomes invincible. Like, you can't shoot fireballs at him because he has a fire extinguisher, obviously. So we have to make the mansion fall on top of him instead. Time's coming up in a second. We run over to here, telekinesis in the pillar, and that's time. And that is Lucius. He's cut these, but it's really 38:08. That's pretty respectable. That's a pretty good time, even though I messed up early in the run. Yeah, that's pretty good. We have a little bit of extra time, so I can just show you one thing. I go to my practice save. For some reason, I decided that what this game really needs is a horde mode. So now I can run around, and there'll be millions of priests coming at me, and I can shoot fireballs at them. These priests are relentless, and they one-shot you. So thanks for watching, guys. I've been Cromish. You can follow me at twitch.tv/Cromish. Thanks, guys. I hope you enjoyed the run.